been to Hope Fest. And so they were going to get a bite to eat, so Ruthie's husband said, well, let's go to this new place called Jersey Mike's, is that it? So they went there to have lunch, and while they're talking, the owner comes out and she says, well, I just donated the sandwiches to Boys and Girls Club, was it?
Boys and Girls.
Yeah. And so Kathy, of course, takes the opportunity to tell them all about our ministry, what we're doing. I don't believe the lady's a Christian, and she said, well, if you're having an open house, I can bring you sandwiches. How many do you need? And Kathy said, oh, 75 or 80. She said, I'll bring you 80 sandwiches. She came and donated in the morning or the afternoon of our open house, all little sandwiches, all boxed up, all categorized by turkey and all. It was wonderful. So another miracle. I mean, does this person know the Lord? I don't know, but God can use it, right? We really can't wait to see what God is going to do next with us. We realize the building has to be paid for. We do have a 5-year balloon payment. You know what that is? That means we have to pay it out in 5 years. We do have a 5-year balloon payment coming up, but you know that is just nothing to God. Absolutely nothing. When we see all the miracles He's done before, that's nothing. Another little miracle that just happened yesterday when we were at the office. 2 or 3 years ago when the recession started to hit, when I was at the other center, I was ordering formula from the formula companies. They would give us free samples of formula. Oftentimes they came in a nice little carrying bag, and the girls loved it. They'd come in for formula, they would have the different little gifts in there. And so Kathy said, I'm going to call the formula companies. I said, you won't get anywhere because since the recession, they are giving formula out. She contacted, was it Infamil? We got 4 boxes, probably worth $400 worth of formula yesterday. Wow. That came from the Infamil company. So those are the kinds of things that keep happening over and over.
We applied for our 501, and within 5 months we had that. Now, I think it was 5 or 7, I forget now, but that is a miracle because most of them take over a year to get, and that is such a blessing that God put it all in the right hands and it went right through with they didn't even come back and ask us any question, it just went through. So that's a real miracle.
You know, another thing along the same line is after Kathy and I were talking and decided to start this center, she said, every year you have to get your license renewed, and I let them expire. I'm 70 years old. I don't need a nursing license anymore, right? And so I said, well, I can try. They didn't expire for several months, and I was expecting to pay a big fee. So we went online that night, my husband and I, and reapplied for it. Because I hadn't worked, there was no late fee. And 2 days later, I had that license on my table. Tell me, have you ever dealt with the government? It was absolutely a miracle, and there was no fees other than my renewal fees.
You know, some people are afraid to share the gospel with these girls, but we all are pretty well trained that we know how we're going to do it. But you feel like, oh, you know, they're not going to be happy when we try to do that to them. But I had a gal turn around and say to me, thank you for telling me. I mean, that just gave me goosebumps because she actually thanked us for taking the time to tell her who Jesus Christ is, you know, and so there's so many great, wonderful stories as we see our girls as they're blessed because you have blessed us and we're blessing them. That just makes this whole ministry such a blessing. And so we come to the center and we're just anxious to be there. It's a day that we just love. So, and we invite you all to come. If you're in Tucson on a Monday or a Thursday, please stop by. We love to show our center off and show what God has done.
I just am in awe of the body of Christ. I mean, you are our champions. You're our heroes. And God is just smiling. And isn't it cool that we can come from so many different backgrounds and each one of us have something to contribute, and God has pushed us higher and higher, and there's things that I just go, God, I just can't do it. And He always reminds me, you can't, but I can. And so I think, isn't it a challenge in all of our lives to get ourselves out of the way? Because really, if you feel weakest, that's when God does His greatest work.
Where is it located?
6287 North Swan. It's catty corner from Rincon High School. Is God good or what?
It's also on the letter, we have a letter.
Yes,
That
if you take
has
any of
our
our brochure, it's on there.
Okay.
Any other questions?
How many volunteers do you have?
I counted about 15.
Yeah, about 15. And a lot of them, we were really blessed. A lot of them came pre-trained from the crisis pregnancy centers. They all left there about the same time we did. And they came pre-trained, so when we started, we had all the trained volunteers ready to go, which was really a blessing. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.